Every corner of this house was filled with gold. From the steps and pillars to the grain storage, everything was packed with golden treasures. In the grain storage, half the space was used for grain, while the other half was stacked with gold bars. These riches were the result of Tony's efforts over more than 2 decades. Yet in a single day, tax investigator Jack managed to uncover it all. Tony's wealth was beyond anyone's imagination. The gold and cash unearthed by Jack were so abundant that they could easily cover an entire football field. To account for this enormous amount, Jack enlisted 27 assistants, but even with their help, the task was overwhelming. As Jack continued to reveal hidden stashes of wealth, Tony became increasingly desperate. He tried everything to stop Jack's investigation. He even attempted to bribe officials, but tax evasion is a serious crime, and none of them dared to get involved. Out of options, Tony resorted to a more sinister plan. He sent men to kidnap Jack's wife. Fortunately, at a critical moment, she managed to outwit her pursuers by driving straight into the tax office, escaping unharmed. Despite this ordeal, Jack's wife refused to back down. Instead, she encouraged Jack with fiery determination. Keep going and make sure Tony pays for what he's done. As the investigation dug deeper, Tony grew suspicious. Jack was uncovering secret hiding spots as if he had a treasure map. Tony began to suspect someone in his family had betrayed him. He publicly declared that if he found the traitor, they would face severe consequences. His family was terrified into silence, but his elderly mother urged him to surrender, suggesting it might reduce his punishment. However, Tony couldn't bear the thought of giving up his luxurious lifestyle for a life in prison. In a desperate move, he made a tempting promise to his workers. "Help me stop Jack, and every one of you will get a chest of gold." This offer drove the workers into a frenzy, and they launched an attack on Jack. Realizing the workers had lost all sense of reason, Jack instructed his colleagues to leave and call the police while he stayed behind to protect the confiscated assets. Cornered by the enraged mob, Jack locked himself in a room, but he knew he couldn't hold them off for long. Just as the situation seemed hopeless, the police arrived, armed and ready. They subdued the workers and restored order. Jack emerged unscathed, and the recovered wealth was secured. In the end, Tony was sentenced to life imprisonment for tax evasion. Even in prison, he couldn't figure out who had betrayed him. The truth was that it was his daughter-in-law, Jenny, who had tipped off the authorities. Years ago, Jenny had been in love with someone else, and they had plans to get married. But Tony had cruelly interfered, forcing her to marry his son instead. Though Jenny lived a life of luxury, she never forgave Tony for tearing her away from her true love. In the end, her resentment drove her to anonymously report Tony to the tax authorities. His crimes were exposed, and he paid a heavy price for his actions.